Hello there and welcome back to our channel. Are you preparing for your post-UTME and you're worried about tricky physics questions? Don't stress, today you are diving into 10 carefully selected physics questions that test deep concepts, not just calculations. We'll break down each one step by step so you can understand the why behind the answers. Stick with me to the end because there's a bonus question waiting for you and I want you to try it out in the comments. Let's go. The first question we have is on nature of sound. The question reads, which of the following statements about sound wave in air is correct? Which of the following statements about sound wave in air is correct? Option A, they are transverse and can be polarized. B, they are longitudinal and require a medium to propagate. C, they can travel through vacuums if their frequency is high enough. And D, they are electromagnetic and travel at the speed of light. The correct option here is option B. They are longitudinal and require a medium to propagate. Please note that sound in air is caused by compression and refraction of air molecules, meaning particles oscillate parallel to the direction of the wave travel, which is the longitudinal wave. Unlike light, sound is a mechanical wave and needs a medium to travel. It cannot exist in a vacuum because no particles are available to vibrate. Also note that polarization is a property of transverse wave and not longitudinal wave like sound. So the correct option there is option B. They are longitudinal and require a medium to propagate. The second question we have here says, a passenger standing inside a bus that suddenly stops tends to fall forward. This is explained by dash. A passenger standing inside a bus that suddenly stops tends to fall forward. This is best explained by option A, we have Newton's first law of motion. Option B, we have Newton's second law of motion. Option C, we have Newton's third law of motion. And option D, we have law of universal gravitation. Clearly looking at this question, we can deduce that this question is coming from inertia and motion. From the options we have, the correct answer is option A, Newton's first law of motion. Don't forget, Newton's first law of motion, which is the law of inertia, states that a body continues in its state of rest or uniform motion unless acted upon by an external force. The passenger's body was moving inside the bus. When the bus stopped suddenly, the passenger's feet stopped with the bus. That is friction. But the upper body tends to continue moving forward due to the inertia. Hence, that's what resulted to the forward fall. So the correct option there is option A, Newton's first law of motion. Other options are wrong because Newton's second law deals with how acceleration relates to force and mass. Option C, which is Newton's third law, refers to action-reaction pairs. It doesn't directly explain the tendency to keep moving. Option D, gravity, is irrelevant to the horizontal forward motion caused by inertia. So the correct option there remains option A. The third question we have here says, which radiation has the highest energy per photon? Which radiation has the highest energy per photon? Option A, we have radio waves. Option B, we have infrared rays. Option C, we have S-rays. And option D, we have visible light. The correct option there is option C, S-rays. Energy of radiation depends on its frequency. In the electromagnetic spectrum, energy increases from radio to microwave, microwave to infrared, infrared to visible, visible to ultraviolet, ultraviolet to X-rays, X-rays to gamma rays. Thus, from the options here, X-ray carries far more energy than visible light or radio, making them useful in medical imaging, but also potentially dangerous to human tissues. Therefore, the correct answer there is option C, X-rays. It has the highest energy per photon. Question 4 is on electric field inside the conductor. This question says, what is the electric field inside the conductor in electrostatic equilibrium? What is the electric field inside a conductor in electrostatic equilibrium? Option A, 0. B, infinite. C, same as outside the conductor. And D, depends on applied voltage. The correct option here is 0. The electric field inside the conductor in electrostatic equilibrium is 0. In electrostatic equilibrium, free charges in a conductor rearrange themselves instantly to cancel any external electric field. As a result, the net electric field inside a conductor is zero, and the surface becomes an equipotential. Any excess charge resides only in the outer surface. Question 5 is a very interesting question. It's on the origin of rainbow. It says the formation of a rainbow in the sky after rainfall is due to dash A. Polarization and diffraction of light in raindrops. B. Refraction, reflection and dispersion of sunlight in raindrops. Option C. Interference of sunlight with water vapor. And D. Scattering of sunlight by tiny dust particles. Some of us, when we see this question, the first thing that comes to our mind is the story of Noah. Actually, you're not wrong, and you're not also right. From here, the correct option is option B, refraction, reflection, and dispersion of sunlight in raindrops. That's what results to the formation of rainbow in the sky after rainfall. Now, let me explain how rainbow forms. Rainbow forms when sunlight enters raindrops. It gets refracted, internally reflected, and then dispersed into component colors. Each wavelength bends at different angles. That's we call that dispersion, and producing a spectrum of ROYGBIV. You know what that means, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Kindly note that this process requires all three processes, which is 1. Refraction, which is bending and dispersion into colors. The second one is internal reflection, which refers to sending light back towards the observer. And the third one is refraction again on exit. Note that dispersion refers to different speed of light in water for different wavelengths. It is essential to separate colors. So the correct option there is option B, refraction, reflection, and dispersion of sunlight in raindrops. The second question is on conservation of momentum. The question says, when a gun is fired, the shooter feels a backward recoil. This illustrates dash. When a gun is fired, the shooter feels a backward recoil. This illustrates what? Option A, conservation of energy only. B, conservation of momentum. C, conservation of angular momentum. And D, Newton's law of gravitation. The correct option here is option B, conservation of momentum. Now note that before firing, the system momentum is zero. When the bullet is propelled forward, the gun must recoil backward so that the total momentum remains conserved. This is the application of Newton's third law as well, which is action and reaction are equal and opposite. But in exam terms, the principle is conservation of linear momentum. Please note. The next question is very interesting. It's on thermodynamics. It says, in a closed insulated system, ice melts into water without any heat being exchanged with the surrounding. This process involves mainly dash. In a closed insulated system, ice melts into water without any heat being exchanged with the surroundings. This process involves mainly dash. A. Increase in kinetic energy of molecules. B. Increase in potential energy of molecules. C. Decrease in entropy. And D. Increase in pressure of molecules. The correct option there is option B, increase in potential energy of molecules. During melting, temperature remains constant, so the kinetic energy of molecules does not change. The absorbed heat is used to break intermolecular bonds, increasing potential energy and changing phase. Entropy disorder actually increases, but the main exam relevant concept is that the energy absorbed goes into potential energy. That's the main concept there. So the correct option is option B, increase in potential energy of molecules. Question 8 says, why does an artificial satellite remain in orbit around the Earth? Why does an artificial satellite remain in orbit around the Earth? Option A, a balance between Earth's gravity and the satellite's engine thrust. B, Earth's gravity provides the centripetal force for circular motion. C, no gravitational force acts beyond the atmosphere, and D, because there is no friction in space. The correct option there is option B. The Earth's gravity provides the centripetal force for circular motion. A satellite is in free fall around the Earth. Gravity continuously pulls it towards the Earth, but its tangential velocity keeps it moving forward, resulting in a curved path, or you can call it an orbit. No engines are needed once in a stable orbit. Gravity does not act far beyond the atmosphere, and the absence of friction only helps maintain motion, but it is not the main cause. So the correct option there is option B. The Earth's gravity provides the centripetal force for circular motion. Don't be tempted to pick option D, which says because there is no friction in space. The next question we have here says, why is a convex mirror used as a rear view mirror in vehicles? Why is a convex mirror used as a rear view mirror in vehicles? Option A, it produces a real and magnified image. Option B, it produces a virtual diminished image with a wider field of view. Option C, it produces a real inverted image with high brightness. And option D, it eliminates parallax error completely. The correct option there is option B. It produces a virtual diminished image with a wider field of view. A convex mirror always produces virtual, upright, and diminished image. This allows the driver to see a larger area, that's a wide field of view behind the vehicles, which is critical for safety. Real images are never formed by convex mirrors, so options C and D are wrong. Question 10, it says, which of the following statements correctly distinguishes nuclear fission from nuclear fission? Which of the following statements correctly distinguishes nuclear fusion from nuclear fission? Option A, fusion splits heavy nuclei into lighter ones, while fission combines lighter nuclei. Option B, fusion occurs at low temperature, while fission occurs only at high temperature. Option C, fusion combines light nuclei into heavier ones, while fission splits heavy nuclei into lighter ones. Option D, both processes release energy, but fission is higher than fusion. The correct option there is option C. Fusion combines light nuclei into heavier ones, while fission splits heavy nuclei into lighter ones. Let's explain. In fusion, light nuclei like hydrogen isotopes combine to form a heavier nucleus, releasing energy, and it requires extremely high temperatures, like in the sun. On the other hand, in fission, a heavy nucleus like uranium splits into lighter nuclei, releasing energy, and this energy is used in nuclear reactors. Note that both releases energy due to the mass energy equivalent, but fission is not yet controlled for power production because of the extreme conditions required. Here is the bonus question for today. It says, when white light passes through a glass prism, different colors deviate at different angles. Which color deviates the least? I'll repeat the question again. It says, when white light passes through a glass prism, different colors deviate at different angles. Which color deviates the least? Option A, red. Option B, violet. Option C, green. And option D, blue. Leave your answer in the comments before checking Google. Awesome work today. You have just sharpened your physics concepts without doing a single calculation. Remember, Post-UTME is not just about solving equations, it's about understanding the principles. If you enjoyed this practice section, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends preparing for the same exam, and subscribe for more daily practice. And don't forget to drop your answer to the bonus question in the comments. I'll be checking. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and success is yours.